Welcome back to another update video from Team Psycosmos. I am Matt from Team Psycosmos, here to give you that positive, never give up, motivational, high vibrational energy to achieve the lifestyle that you want. And if you don't like it, that's too fucking bad, because I'm going to keep making these videos and I'm going to keep trying to spread the love, spread the wisdom, spread all the happiness and the joy, because that's just what we do here at Team Psycosmos. We're fucking badasses, guys. We're badasses. The amount of shit that we've done, we've started from the bottom and we're going all the way up, and it's a slow process, but we're getting there. These types of videos that I make almost every day, I try to make them almost every single weekday. Sometimes I am very, very busy in my life, so things pop up just like with everybody else. But these videos are here to kind of share what we're seeing in the news and share what we're seeing in the world, share some thoughts and some wisdom on how to achieve and build the lifestyle that you want. A big part of that is being grateful for the things that you already have. That's actually how you can manifest better things in your life. You can't just keep sitting there saying, I want, I want, I want. You have to say, I am. That's a big part of, actually, it's in the Bible. That's a big thing in the Bible. But besides the Bible itself, that's a big thing in most spiritualities and religions, and also psychology. It's the I am. It's the understanding basically where you are and your place in the universe, and being able to manifest and pull better things towards you, pull the the timeline, I guess. A lot of people believe in different realities or timelines or whatever. You're basically pulling the things that you want in your life to you, rather than going out and constantly searching for them. So that's something that I've been able to accomplish in my life. I am fairly financially free. I have very nice things, although that's not really a big deal in my eyes. It's a big deal in a lot of other people's eyes. I'm not a materialistic person by any means, but the material does end up playing pretty well into my lap, because of the way that I'm just very grateful for things. I have, pure drinking water, bountiful food. I have people who love me all around, my family and my friends, and that's really what life is about, right? It's about achieving all of those things and basically finding your purpose and what you can share and do for the greater societies of the world, and just the cultures of people and the swaths of people that you're going to be able to help in your life. And some people want to create art to inspire other people. Some people want to create music to ease the burdens of other people's lives and give them some fun. Some people want to be a politician, and they want to go and try to make some change through political outlets and networking and financial sectors and things like that. It really comes down to your internal calling and what you desire to do. And my internal calling is, number one, I want to help as many people as I possibly can, especially kids, because kids, I think, right now are being targeted in a lot of the political rhetoric that's going on right now. And it's on every side. I'm not pointing out anybody specifically. We try to remain pretty apolitical here. We'll crack some jokes and make some humor about politics, but we like to be relatively apolitical. And then, so for me, I want to help as many people as I can. I want to strive to get the true wisdom out there. I mean, part of that is going on social media, going on things like YouTube or TikTok, and you just see so much misinformation, guys. It's really bad. People have 10% of the story, but their ignorance and their ego it really, really clashes. They'll have 10 or 20% of the story, so it's not like they're fully wrong, but they're not looking at the whole picture. They haven't finalized all of the research. I'm not saying that I have, finalized all of the research of all time. But what I've done is I've been researching for a very long time. It's been well over 10 years. And I basically kept my mouth shut up until about 2 years ago, where I finally said, okay, I think with the 500 plus sources that I have here, and most of those are going to be going in our book that we're working on, I think I have a pretty good idea of what the world is actually like, who's actually in control, what's really going on. And I have began to learn the sciences and the metaphysics of manifestation, and I was able to create a lifestyle. And remember, I was completely broke, with no parents, no family to be able to back me up or help me out, put myself through college. I was working 2 jobs to pay all of my bills starting at 17 years old. I actually have a very in-depth story. I had to watch my mom pass away from drug addiction. And through all of this, I was able to positively inspire other people and myself to push forward and gain the lifestyle that you want. My family, the family that I came from, I was pretty broke growing up. I wasn't like super poor, but I was definitely lower middle class. And I knew that my parents were not doing it the right way. They were unhappy. They were fighting all the time, screaming at each other, constantly arguing about finances. That was the number one thing that really caused their very brutal divorce. And both my parents were pretty abusive to me and my siblings. So, um, through this entire journey, through this whole story of my own life, I realized that there had to be something better. And the one thing that I didn't do was I didn't let all of those negative things get to me. I had to remain positive, I had to remain uplifted, and I had to push and move forward. I'm a firm believer, because I know this to be true from the thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that I've talked to, just from having to be in the working world, having to deal with people, and most of the time it's people that I might not want to have to talk to or deal with, but I've had to. And because I've been forced to do these things, because I forced myself to do them, I gained a beautiful perspective on the reality that we live in. And through talking with all these people, I realized that I've heard some really screwed up stuff from other people and stories that they've had, but it has been very, very few where I've heard a story that has been harder to deal with or worse than mine. And I'm not trying to compare myself to anybody. Everybody has their hardships. Life is hard for every single person. It's a reality that we have to kind of deal with. But what I mean by that is, I don't. The reason that I do what I do here at Psycosmos is I don't think that a lot of people could have handled a lot of the stuff that I had to deal with growing up. There was a lot of trauma. I had to get through a lot of that. I'm sharing this because I want you guys to know that no matter how bad you think it is for you, you can always turn it around, always. And I'm proof of that. I'm proof of that to the fullest extent, because I went from being raised in an abusive household in a lower middle class society to being pretty upper middle class, at least middle class. Although the middle class is dying right now, but that's a topic for another day. And being financially successful, happy, joyful. I'm grateful for everything that I have. The abundance comes to me, and it really comes down to how much you love yourself, the effort that you put in every day. I try to make these videos almost every single day, and I know that not a lot of people watch them, but if I can help one person, that's all that matters to me, because that will be me spreading the wisdom, spreading the love, spreading the joy, spreading all of the great stories and the wonderful life lessons that I've learned. And that might be not shortcuts, but it might help people figure things out a little bit quicker if they are suffering, or if they are in a bad place. And I've been there. I've been in that bad place. So that's why I do what I do, and it's all out of love. So we're gonna keep continuing on with these videos every single day. We're gonna try to be ramping up and doing a lot more. We're gonna try to make a team TikTok. Like, we have 3 different TikToks, but we want to have like a conjoined singular Team Psycosmos TikTok, because we don't really have that yet. So I think we're going to do that, and that's going to be a next big move. We're also working on the book. We're also going to draft that book into a documentary. So far, I think, the last I checked, which was yesterday, because I wrote a chapter yesterday, I think we're at 120 pages so far. And a lot of that, of course, is spacing. I would say we probably have a good, somewhere like around 60 to 80 pages that are pretty much done. But the thing is, guys, this book is probably going to be, I would say, at least 300 pages, maybe 400 pages. Could be 600 pages, to be quite honest with you. We don't want to go above that, though, because then it's just going to be too much. So if you feel like supporting us and you really like this message, make sure that you like and subscribe. You can comment down below anything that you're feeling. Tell us what's up. You can also check out our Patreon. You can check out our merch store. The links are down in the description below. You can check out our Cash App if you feel like being generous and donating. And give us recommendations, guys. I mean, if you're looking at our Patreon, you're like, yeah, I don't really want like some merch. I'd rather have something else. We were thinking about doing different types of Patreon rewards, but we'd like to know what you guys have to say. I know I'm running over a little bit here. Today's Friday. It's June 9th, or sorry, July 9th. Wow, I'm all over the place. July 9th. So I figured since it's Friday, I might make a little bit of a longer video because you won't see me over the weekend, because that's when I try to reset my week and I do my little mantras and I relax and I try to have my personal time, which I don't really get often during my Monday through Friday. So what I would say that's been going on recently, I mean, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, and I mean, politics aside, I don't care about the politics really. I don't care too much about the politics of what's going on right now, because a lot of things are in the dark, and that's not a political statement. It's we're not Republicans or Democrats here. We're not liberals or conservatives. We're independents, we're like a combination. We see everything from both sides, but we also want to see the truth of what's going on. We don't want to see the lies. And the reality is, here's the reality. If you're believing every single thing that the news and the government is telling you right now, after this whole last year that we've had, you're a fool. I mean, I say that humbly and I say that nicely, but you are a fool. If you're not having a single thing click in critical thinking, and you want to give up all of your responsibility, I don't personally think that you have a leg to stand on when it comes to trying to tell people what they think or say. Critical thinking is something that we as a society are lacking extremely. And when things don't add up quite correctly, that is when people need to kind of come together and put their heads together and figure out what's going on. Now, I'm not a believer in conspiracy theories. I don't do conspiracy theories. It's not something that we cover in our day-to-days, because we just don't care about conspiracy theories. But there are certain things that are labeled as conspiracy theories, which are completely true, and the only reason they're labeled that way is because of where conspiracy theory came from, which is basically the CIA. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's proven fact. You can actually go on the CIA website themselves, I guess, and you can find the documentation from like the 50s and 60s, which talk about, hey, we want to perform some things, Operation MK Ultra, we want to do some things undercover, but if people start figuring it out, we're going to get in trouble, so we need to figure out a way to coin terms and call people names so that they get basically, society will just think that they're crazy. And yeah, there are some crazy conspiracy theories. We don't partake in those. We look for documentation. We read legal documents. We download legal documents. We interpret them. We find things that like a lot of people are just not seeing at all. And I understand why. It's being completely hidden from the public. But there was that big financial bailout, the bankruptcy that happened. What was that? January, I think it was, in the Florida District Court. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically the United States filed for, I don't remember if it was Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I don't remember exactly the clause, but it was basically bankruptcy, which basically said, we as the United States, we're going to, basically what they said was they're going to have to redistribute a lot of their assets. And that was set up for the next financial system, this quantum financial system, which we are about to undergo and that's coming. I mean, that's coming way sooner than people think. It's probably by the end of this year, there's going to be, my guess would be a massive cyber attack, maybe power outages, food shortages for sure. There's been countless farmers who have been posting on social media saying that they're getting letters from the government to burn their crops. That's not a conspiracy. That's happening. There's proof. There's documentation that follows it. So there is going to probably be a food shortage. Why would all this be happening? The Great Reset. That's what it is. It's the Great Reset. The World Economic Forum and the Bilderberg Group have already discussed these things openly. You don't have to, dig and try to find any documentation on that. You will find documentation, but I'm saying you can find videos of them talking about it very openly, very easily. So they do want to have a giant global economic reset, and by that, it's not going to be just the economic reset. That's the ploy. It's a ploy because it's a setup for something greater. Because remember, the people who are in charge, who have the highest power, they do not go to church. They do not go to temple. They don't go to mosque. They have their own beliefs. And if you don't understand the higher powers, a lot of people call them the elites. If you don't know the elite people's spirituality or the things that they believe in, the ways that they interpret things, if you don't understand that everything to them is numbers, astrology, all of that stuff, there's a reason why I actually just wrote this in the chapter yesterday. There's a reason why there's a giant bull in the center of Wall Street, in front of Wall Street. And I worked Wall Street. I know why that is. It's because it's an homage to the constellation Taurus, which out of all 12 zodiacal signs, Taurus rules money. And not only that, but money was created during the age of Taurus, which was about 6,000 years ago, shortly after that great deluge, the great flood. A lot of people know it as the story of Noah or the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's the same story, relatively speaking, at least the part about the flood. And it's an homage to the constellation Taurus. And if you look it up, you are going to find these stupid explanations like, why is it called a bull market? Why is it called a bear market? Oh, well, you know, a bull can like kill a bear or something like there's literally no honest explanation. If you do a basic Google search and you try to find that stuff, why is it called a bull market when it's good? Why is it called a bear market when it's bad? The bear is Ursa Major. The Ursa Major is the constellation, the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. It's a bear. They originally, Greco-Roman, Latin, Chaldean, Sumerian, Babylonian, Mesopotamians, they all saw it as a giant bear in the sky. So the bear represents, because of where that constellation is located, it looks kind of like a windmill. It's the original, what some people claim to be the original interpretation of the Hindu and the Buddhist swastika. It's not the swastika. It's a different thing. And you probably have heard that. You've probably heard, before it was like the Nazi thing. It was a Buddhist symbol, and that's true. And most of it represented the sky. It represented the constellation kind of swirling around. Now, this is, some people claim this. I'm not claiming this. I'm saying some people claim this. So keep that in mind. But regardless of that, the positioning of the constellation does look like a windmill. It goes in a circle. So it's like a bear chasing itself. And so basically the explanation is the bull is which Taurus is the sign of the earth. It's ruled by Venus, relatively speaking, but it's also the sign of the earth. It's out of all of the 12 signs, it is the one that's basically in conjunction with the earth. So it represents the material. And they also claim that Tauruses are materialistic people. That may or may not be true. I don't like to look at horoscope BS interpretations, stereotypes, and things of that nature. Some of them can be somewhat accurate. Some of them not so much. But regardless of that, Taurus represents the material. So the bull, the giant golden bull statue that's in the middle of Wall Street, that represents basically a worship to the attributes of manifesting wealth. So if you don't know that stuff, that's what we're here for. And that's okay if you don't. If you do, that's great, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people along the path to understand these things. Again, I worked Wall Street. I know these things. I know what the Shemitah, I thought it was called Shemitah. I've heard it called Shemita, but I don't know Hebrew very well. But the Jubilee year, the Shemitah year, okay, Shemitah, Shemita, Shemitah. I've heard all three, and I'll have to ask Yaira. Shout out to Yaira, Restoration of the Breach on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, I'll have to ask him how you really pronounce that, but it's the Jubilee year, and this is something that I learned many years ago when I was working Wall Street myself, in Manhattan. So it's really interesting to see people who either don't understand this fully or don't understand this at all, and they're talking all about this on social media, online, and it can be somewhat frustrating, because the truth is the most important thing to us, and so that I just wanted to share a little bit today. Yeah, so definitely keep your eyes open on the market. Definitely keep your eyes open on whatever is going on with the politics of stuff, the V thing, et cetera, et cetera. If you've gotten the V thing, don't fret, don't worry. I'm sure you might have been seeing a lot of FUD centered around it. Do your own research. If you've taken the V thing and you're scared because people are worried and upset, I've had family members that are very sick because they took the V thing. Um, so I understand what's going on with that, but you can look into NAC. Don't remember what it stands for, but it's a type of prescription. They had it easily being sold a couple months ago. Now you're not going to be able to buy it on Amazon anymore because they took it off. Wonder why. But if you're able to get your hands on it, that has been known to help with a lot of the symptoms and the side effects. So just keep doing your own research, guys. Keep manifesting, keep being positive, keep loving, keep being high vibrational. And if you guys need anything, just let us know. Drop a comment down below. Make sure you check out all the things I already said. And yeah, let us know how you guys are doing. And just don't forget, never give up. Always remember that we love you guys and we're here for you. Take care.